Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on scientific and historical evidence. Also, this channel is not for people to mimic and learn without a teacher. This channel is for reference, but not a substitution of teacher. You cannot learn from my channel. Now, today I like to share with you something extremely serious. Most people do not listen to what I'm saying. And thus, in the past 1 week or so, many people is asking me all kinds of questions due to they do not listen to me carefully. In my previous videos, even though I have already shared the thing clearly. So today I want to elaborate clearly in details so all of you understand. It is a very serious problem. It is actually fatal if one do not know what is going on and keeping going their own directions. Learning Qigong, learning martial arts, one cannot have the mentality like in the movie, Hong Kong Kung Fu movie. That's not the way how you learn things. Now, today, if you notice, I add another sentence say that do not learn from this video, this channel, or my channel, or even my books. Those books and this channel is for reference. One need a teacher, a legit, qualified teacher to coach one, or else you will never go anywhere. For instance, you can find the book by Mas Oyama, the karate book. Can you just mimic the Pinang or Taiyuku sets without really go train in a Kyokushin dojo? Well, even decades ago, many people just get Mas Oyama's book and then mimic the Taiyuku or Pinang sets. And guess what? They completely off compared with those who learn in the Kyokushin dojo. And also, you cannot just watch a video of Kyokushin about kicking all those Kihon and Kumite, and then you think that, well, I will be able to fight like the Kyokushin. Forget about it. You need to have a legit instructor to train you, to watch over you. Okay? This is serious stuff. For some reason, Chinese Kung Fu people is the worst. They're living in the fantasy. They thought that, oh, watching a movie, this hand technique, that hand techniques, I'm going to do this and that. You look at in the video today in the web, how many showing their Wing Chun, and then under that they show the Wing Chun movies techniques. So they learn from the movie. That's a disaster, okay? So do not learn from this channel of mine. Do not learn from my books. Those are textbooks. It's like if you go to university, you need a textbook, and you need the lecturer, the professor to teach you. Just reading textbooks, unless you are super, 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 super genius, you're not going to get it because you think different way. So it's like my analogy or my experience with those who took Mas Oyama's book and tell me he know Penang sets or Tayuku sets, and when he showed me that, I said, "Come on, okay, you never go to learn Kyokushin in the formal way." This is very serious, okay? So until you join a school, get formal trained by experienced teacher, you really don't know what is going on inside there. That's applied to everybody. So don't asking me about, do you have a video I can learn breathing? Do you have a video I can learn this and learn that? How are you supposed to learn anything? By just watching video mimicking things. You need a coach to watch over you. Many things are really seriously can cause injury. Okay? Now, the second thing is many Wing Chun friends and other martial art friends asking me, "Hey Hendrik, can you show me that two type of intra-abdominal pressure handling in Wing Chun which you mentioned before? Or how about the three types of breathing in Wing Chun? Can you make a video so that I can learn?" Well, again, that is a signature of they never listen to what I'm saying. How is a person learn about breathing or intra-abdominal pressure when they have never trained in the six core element or seven core element? Last time I talked about it. How can you handle your breathing when you couldn't even stand, when you don't even know how to stand? So right away jump into the breathing or intra-abdominal pressure just because I talk about it and probably using the term to show off with somebody else. It is a disaster. In this world, the six core element is the rule of universe. If you don't know how to handle your physical, you will never know how to handle your mind. If you never know how to handle your mind, you will never know how to handle your breathing. If you never know how to handle your breathing, you will never be able to handle your intra-abdominal pressure. And then you cannot handle the qi, and then you cannot handle the jing, and so forth. That's just how the traditional Chinese martial art is based on. Okay? So asking me on videos to learn on breathing, on intra-abdominal pressure from Wing Chun and so forth, you just tell me they do not care what I'm saying. So for those who really want to learn something, you want to go through the six core element. Anybody who read my book, the Basic Wing Chun Art and Science, Basic Wing Chun Art and Science, know that within the breathing element itself, you have four types of breathing there, right? So if you don't identify every core element, you do not have experience on it, what are you going to do? When people say fudging, you say I have fudging too. When people say force flow, you say, well, I have force flow too. And I even saw people took my six core element, the 13th state out, and then adding his own opinion. which is completely off. Just want to make some money or make famous on those kind of things, but mislead people left and right. Why? Because they never train. They never develop the skill before they talk. So we want to avoid that, okay? Completely avoid that. I'm not whining here. I just tell you that the traditional Chinese martial art, including Wing Chun, when Bruce Lee called it land swimming, and I can today tell you it is hopeless because the education has been bankrupt. Yes, bankrupt. For the proper training, you need to go through the six core element. You call it whatever. Six core element is my term. Seven core element is my term. I create that. But hey, those who really know can use their own term. But I'm talking about what it is that. You have to go through that. Okay? For example, just very simple 小念头. The Wing Chun 小念头. Yes. In the beginning, you see everybody do this, do all sorts of the opening. Do they know what they are doing? Most of them have no idea what they are doing. Why? Because this, the proper design of 1850s. This is called sinking. This is called rising. Forget about the hand techniques, how to use these techniques, how to use this technique. Don't even talk about that. Talk about the sinking and rising. Sinking, not only dealing with your physical, it also dealing with your breathing and dealing with your intra-abdominal pressure. When you sink and when you rise, it is meaningful for how to handle this core. If you cannot handle this core, your body is like the jellyfish. And thus, it is not going to go anywhere. So I can do this, keeping mimic it, and my body is like a jellyfish. There is no stability in my core. How is it supposed to use it for fighting, for martial art purpose? So it is just the beginning, very beginning of 修炼套. For heaven's sake, if you don't get the six core element or seven core element, the basics, one couldn't even know how to perform properly the first move of the 修炼套 sets. What else can you go? Can you get? So this is what I like to share with you today. You need to handle the six core element. Only then you talk about different things. You talk about, oh, I want to know about this breathing and all those kind of stuff. First, you need to know what is a six core element. And you need to know how to be able to handle your physical body. Or else if he says, she says, and all this like a movie like of things, it's just a wasting of life. So as 50 years ago when Bruce Lee said it's land swimming, that's exactly what it is. It's not going to go anywhere. So for those of you guys who like to learn Chinese Kung Fu, Chinese meditation, put this in mind. This is the key. If you don't have this key, you will not be able to learn anything in depth. But just mimic here, mimic that. It's good for become an actor in Wing Chun movies or Kung Fu movies. In the real life, you must be kidding. So we need to think properly, carefully.